Hi everyone, welcome to Kriti's tutorials. Now let's continue with the topic of the reproductive system of earthworm. In this video, let us discuss how does the copulation occur between the two earthworms and how does the fertilization of sperms and ova occurs in the earthworm and how does the young baby earthworms are formed. So initially let us begin with the process of copulation. So during at the time of copulation, the earthworm A comes in contact with the earthworm B. As these before knowing about the copulation, first we should be clear with the concept that these earthworms have the nature of protandry. They are protandrous in nature. So what do you mean by the term protandrous? In the body of earthworm, the male reproductive organs matures first where the ovas are not matured equally to the that of the male reproductive organs. As a result of that, these type of organisms, they undergo only the cross fertilization. Self fertilization is not possible. So that is the reason as the male gametes mature first, as the male reproductive part matures first, we call these type of organism as protandrous organisms. Clear? So coming to the process of reproduction, at the time of copulation, two earthworms comes in contact with each other. So what happens? The male genital pore, with the help of the male genital pore, the sperms are deposited in the spermaticae of the other earthworm, which is present in the 6th, 7th and 8th and 9th segments. The male gamete, the sperms from the male gamete are deposited in the spermatical part of the other earthworm, which is present between the 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9 and 9 is 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8 and 8, 9 segments. Okay, so these sperms enters inside the other earthworm with the help of the spermatical pore, as you will be remembering while we were discussing about the female reproductive part of the earthworm. So this is how the copulation occurs. After the copulation occurs, see the position of the fusion, the copulation occurs in such a way that the head part of both the earthworms will be in the opposite direction and we call it as juxtapositive. Okay, they will be looking their head part will be in the opposite direction, which gives the correct environment for the process of copulation. So after the copulation occurs, both the earthworms, they get separated. And how does the fertilization, how does the reproduction occurs? While we are talking about the reproduction, as we all know, spermaticae is the part where the sperms are getting stored. The male sperms are deposited in the spermatical part of the other earthworms. This we have discussed during the process of copulation. Now, here in the 14th, 15th and 16th segment, as you all know, this part, it is the dense part which we call it as clitellum. Okay, so in clitellum, the ova will be produced. The ova will be producing the clitellum. In the clitellum at the 14th segment, where you will be finding the ovaries. Okay, so in the 14th segment, what is the production of ova occurs. Now, listen properly, and this is the clitellum and this is the earthworm. So after the ova is getting matured, this clitellum slowly moves forward. This clitellum slowly moves forward in the sense the earthworm starts pulling its body in the backward direction. As the earthworm pulls its body in the backward direction, the clitellum comes forward, reaching the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segment of that earthworm. It collects the sperms from the spermaticae, and this clitellum entirely gets detached from the body of the earthworm. So this is how the process occurs. So the clitellum, the 14th segment, after the ova is completely formed, the earthworm slowly started to detach its clitellum from its body, and the clitellum, as the earthworm moves backward, the clitellum comes forward. It crosses the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segment. While they are crossing the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th segments, they receive the sperms which are present in the spermaticae, and this clitellum completely wind off from the body of the earthworm. And that clitellum, we call it, that clitellum consists of the ova as well as the sperms. Okay, and this clitellum will become into a structure, a spherical like structure, which we call it as cocoons, and these cocoon are also called as ootica. Okay, so inside the ootica, the egg fuses with the sperms to form the zygote. Later, this zygote gets slowly matured up, and at a particular stage, this ootica gets burst out and the baby earthworms comes outside. From every cocoon, around 2 to 20 baby earthworms are being formed. Okay, in every cocoon around 2 to 20 baby earthworms are being formed. Clear? So you have to be very clear that as though the sperms and ova are present inside the body of earthworm, the fusion occurs after the clitellum is completely detached from the body of the earthworm. So that is the reason we can call this type of fertilization as external fertilization, and there is no presence of any larval stage. We can clearly say that this earthworms undergoes direct development. Hope you have understood very clearly about the reproductive system, copulation and all the concepts related to this reproductive part of the earthworm. In the next part, we shall take up with the excretory system of earthworm. Thank you.